Hello and welcome to the Games4all podcast. I'm your host Dan, and with me is my good friend as always, James.
Howdy.
You're listening to show 3, it's our third week, and this is our sort of post-E3 special, because obviously E3 is still going on at the moment that we're recording this. We're recording it a day early due to, for personal reasons, which we're not going to go into, but...
Herpes.
Yeah, okay, anyway. So we're recording it early, and E3 is kind of halfway through. The bulk of things have been announced. We're going to talk about some of that stuff today. Last week's show was pretty epic. That was huge. Epic's a sort of a buzzword at the moment, which we'll get into later. But 2 hours worth of just us talking crap, and we apologise for anyone actually listening to it, because half of the stuff didn't really need to be in the show. But yeah, so...
Well, as hard as it was to listen to, it was hard work for us to record.
It was, because we had so much to talk about, and I think in the end we just kind of talk about too much stuff. I think we should have kept it a little bit more condensed, which is what we're going to try and do today if we can. So what we're going to do is we're going to skip the usual routine. We're not going to do the what we've been playing kind of thing, because basically
we've not been playing anything. We've just been watching E3.
E3 stuff basically all this week. That's all it's been. Work. Right. So we're going to talk about the 3 main media briefings. We're going to go in the order that they happened. So we're going to go with Microsoft, then Nintendo, and then Sony. And talk about them individually, and then right at the end of the show we're going to talk about the games that we've seen so far that we are impressed by, possibly, because obviously we haven't seen everything. There's still a couple more days worth of stuff, a few demos here and there, a few trailers and things we haven't really seen yet, but the bulk of things we have, and most stuff happens within the first 2 days anyway. So we're gonna take a short break already, I know, but when we come back we are all going to talk about Microsoft's media briefing.
Hey.
Okay, welcome back to the Games4all podcast. We're going to talk about the Microsoft or Xbox media briefing that kind of happened before E3 technically officially opened.
It was kind of like the starter, wasn't it?
It kind of was. It was kind of the moment E3 sort of started, but it wasn't technically the first day. They did this thing on Sunday night or Sunday morning. I forget now, because obviously there's like 7 hours gap, right? Because we're also in the UK, but. They did this thing with the Cirque du Soleil people. It was really like for like a media only, right? They unveiled a lot of the Kinect stuff, because obviously last week we were saying the rumour is that it's going to be called Wave or whatever it was. Wave on it? Yeah. It was Wave.
That's what you kept calling it. I kept trying to sort of say it's Project Natal. Project
Natal / Wave. That's what we were saying last week. Obviously the rumour was a total bullshit, because it's now Kinect spelled with a K and a bit funky, right?
Sort of kinetic and connection.
Yes. Basically, right.
It's a pun or a play on words.
Not actually as keen on that name. I would have preferred Wave, personally. Don't know how you feel about it. I still think Move's a better name, but we'll leave that to one side.
At least the name's more interesting than the logo for it.
Okay, yeah, well, yeah. Let's not go there.
No.
They showed off the cute games and stuff, and they did pretty much the same thing Monday morning. Yeah, I mean, we'll go from beginning to like end, basically, talking about it. First of all, obviously, the dude from Treyarch came out and talked about Call of Duty Black Ops. We didn't really talk about it, actually, pretty much just showed it. It looks alright, in my opinion. I love my Call of Duties. Not as excited about this, because obviously last year at E3, they showed off Modern Warfare, well, Infinity Ward showed off Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah.
The cliffhanger level.
Yeah.
Icy, cliffs. All that cool kind of scariness, finishing with a snowmobile chase. Fucking awesome, right?
Yeah.
This did not seem
as epic.
Yeah, it didn't grip me as much, and it looked cool. It looks nice. The helicopter stuff was cool. Treyarch can make a kind of gorier Call of Duty games. That showed in the brief sort of 5 minutes we got to see. What did you think? I mean, you sort of like Call of Duty, but you don't really you're not hardcore into it.
No, not hardcore into it. I'm just waiting to see what everybody else thinks of it, because I've played a minimal amount of Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah.
But I liked them. I like the immersion factor. I like this, and here's a chance for Treyarch to kind of
They need
have
to,
their go
they need
at
to
it.
step up.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
but-
step into the Infinity Ward shoes.
Yeah.
I'm not sure it's going to go quite the way they hope, but I mean, I'm still going to play. I'm still going to get the game and play it, and I probably will love it. But I don't think we're going to. I don't think Treyarch's going to make a game as good as either the Modern Warfare 1 or 2 Infinity War games, because they haven't. I mean, they've had a couple of chances to make Call of Duty games already. This is their third Call of Duty game, and they've not matched Infinity Ward's level of standards and quality that I've, yet. Who knows? This could far exceed expectations. But so that happened. There was an announcement of that all the DLC is going to be exclusive for a while for them. It's going to come out on Xbox first.
Yep.
This is for the next 3 years. For the next 3 Call of Duty games, basically speaking. So obviously we know there's one coming. There is one every year anyway, but Treyarch are really going to, if they're developing all of these games, it's going to be mad for them. But my question is, why only 3 years? What happens in 3 years' time? Say, 2013, new Xbox?
Possibly. Well, we'll get into that.
No, but I mean, like a new Xbox, like not another 360, but a new. Are they going to start developing for a different console?
Could do.
It's just something that pops in my head. 3 years seems a bit of a strange.
Yeah, I mean, if you think most consoles have a 10-year lifespan, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
We're pretty much 5 years into it now.
So it brings us to about 8.
Yeah, 3 years time, you're going to want 2 years of development for a new console.
Yeah,
so
ideally.
that could.
Yeah, I'm just putting that out there, Then we got to see Metal Gear Rising trailer, which has a slight bit of gameplay in it. Lots of slicing things up.
Yeah.
Namely, like walls, vans, melons.
Yeah.
What do you think? I mean, I'm not really a Metal Gear fan.
Oh, I think I said this the other week in that I would really, really want to like the Metal Gear games.
Yeah,
there's something about
the
story. There's something about it, but I'm just not the stealthy person. If this is more action orientated, if this is more come get some, then I might give it a go.
It looks good. I mean, I think if it was put in front of me, I'd be like, yeah, I'll pick up the controller, I'll play this. I'm not sure I'd like it. It's not something I'm into, but I could be into it now that it's on 360.
Maybe if there was a demo or something, I could have a go on.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's good that this franchise is moving on to 360.
Yeah.
I think it's really good for Xbox and Microsoft. I think it's great. But
they've been calling for it for years and years, and everybody said, I think even right up until last year, they said, no, it's never going to happen.
Yeah. So that was shown off. First real footage of it, I think. It looked alright. It actually got me. It made me slightly interested in it. I wasn't that bothered before when they announced it last year, because it was 2009 E3. They mentioned that it was going to happen. He just came. It was like, oh, by the way, Metal Gear Rising is going to come out on 360. See you later. And that was it. And it was like, oh, okay, great. And then now we have something to watch. It's like, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Then.
Oh, yeah, here it comes.
The Gears of War 3 demo.
Yep.
I think you probably know my thoughts on it, but I'll ask you first, what did you think?
It looks absolutely amazing. I love Gears. It's not normally the sort of game you'd associate with me and my play style, but played through the first one. Loved it. Got the second one on release. Loved it. I know I'm going to love this.
You know what you're getting, but you get more, if you know what I mean. You get more goodness.
Yeah, this one looks like, I know I'm going to enjoy it. It looks so awesome.
It looks a little bit more colourful.
Yeah, they're definitely. The last time they showed what the Unreal Engine is capable of, they did a lot of foliage, a lot of jungles and everything. That comes through in Gears of 3. You can actually see that there's more plant life about. There's more.
Yeah.
Everything there, and
so that was nice to see that they've kind of coloured. Yeah, I mean,
slightly more exotic.
The first two games were a little bit drab and had a lot of greys and browns and what have you. But I'm all for it being a little bit more colourful and bright and better looking.
Yeah.
New Unreal Engine. I say 3. It's 3 point something. I should think. I don't think it's 4.
No, it's not 4 yet.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What they showed was really cool. Lots of new enemies, mutating enemies, lots of new executions and the bayonet. Yeah, that's awesome.
See, Chainsaw Bayonets was cool enough, but now they've gone back to traditional stabby bayonets.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's just a whole new level of awesome.
and obviously they demoed it with 4-player co-op, which is something that really appeals to us because we used to playing it 2-player co-op. 4-player just be amazing. I'd love it. It's gonna be amazing. And then they talked about they kind of hinted or teased at a thing called Beast Mode.
Oh.
Well, they said Beast or whatever. We now know what that is. It's basically Horde mode but reverse, if that's how you want to put it. It is you play as the big or the little or big nasty beasts, and you get to take on the cog wave after wave of cogs.
And, I really am quite excited about.
And the bigger the beast, the more you have to unlock them basically.
Yeah.
So you can start out as like a ticker or a wretch or something small.
Yeah,
and
well, like you said,
it's
pretty much the opposite. Whereas instead of the waves of cog coming after you, they're entrenched, and you have to try and break into them.
Yeah, pretty awesome.
That looks awesome. It could be good for like teamwork. Like get one of you sort of as a little ticker, sort of trying to clear out things, and then you get one of you as a berserker, then charging in afterwards, and it's a real sort of teamwork opportunity there.
Yeah. All last thing I'm going to say about this is that it already looks very polished, and it's like 10 months away from shipping.
Yeah.
So obviously they've still got a lot of work to do on certain things, but it looked really good for a game that's almost a year away from.
Well, they've had a lot of practice, to be honest.
Yeah,
they know what they're doing. They've got a lot of experience with it now.
Very excited about that. I'm glad we got to see some really good footage of that. And then your good friend Peter Molyneux came out.
Hey.
Talking about Fable 3.
You have to take everything he says with a pinch of salt, but it's nice to see some enthusiasm in the gaming industry.
He basically pretty much just showed a trailer.
Yeah.
That was it. It was just a trailer. That's all we pretty much got. The thing is, there is gameplay footage knocking around online of Fable 3, so why wasn't that...
I think that was probably... I don't know why it wasn't shown at the press conference, but I know that there is stuff on the show floor that you can actually have. There are actually people having hands-on demos of it, and playing through bits of it.
Because I've seen some footage from it. It looks, I don't play Fable. You play Fable? I don't play Fable.
Well,
it looks like Fable 2 to me, but slightly different.
Yeah, there's a slightly upgraded engine, but apparently it plays a whole lot different. It's been really refined, and it's really different, and they've done away with the menu system, which, well, they seem to be sort of taking all the criticisms, like, oh, it took ages to like go through the menu and do all this and do all that and do this. And the thing I like about Lionhead is they get a lot of flack, mostly because of Mr. Molyneux, and his promises.
Yeah, true.
And I think maybe the reason why he wasn't on for very long and only showed a trailer and everything is because they don't want him out there too long, saying too much about it, explaining too much about the gameplay, because he kind of gets in trouble for that and says things that he shouldn't.
Well, that makes it. That's a good explanation for why it wasn't out for too long. The trailer I thought was kind of cool. I mean, it seems from what I got to see, basically just the trailer, seems to have a fairly deep storyline.
Yeah.
Seems quite action packed as well. So that's pretty cool.
Like I said, they do listen to criticism. I mean, Fable 2 was what the first Fable was promised to be, and still a lot of people weren't happy with that because the times had moved on and they want more. It looks like they've now gone and made it deeper. It looks like they've really, really focused on the story this time.
Yeah, that does come through in the trailer.
Yeah, and also the co-op as well, because before you had like your hero. If you want another person to play with you, they'd have to come in as your sidekick. They couldn't bring their hero in.
Yeah,
they could earn money and all that for this, but now actually you can have two heroes in the same game world sharing the same space.
Yeah,
you can get married, you can share funds.
Yeah, I did see a bit of this like sort of thing earlier.
Proper thing.
One thing I will say, the last thing I'm going to say about this is, obviously he didn't show much. I don't think they're going to show any of the Kinect functionality that's supposedly in the game, which is a bit of a shame.
Yeah,
because obviously Kinect's now, they're really heavily demoing it.
Yeah,
and it would have been nice for them to just show off a little bit of what they can do, what they're going to do with it. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I was hoping to see more of it because we'd known that Peter Molyneux had said, it's going to be functional with Project Natal, as it was called back then. Again, pinch of salt, maybe it won't be.
Yeah, who knows at this point.
Maybe they won't get it working in time, but we'll just have to see. But it'll probably be in there, it'll probably just perfecting it at the moment. But, it's still got some development time in, but...
Yeah.
We'll see in October.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with that. Yeah, that's October 26th, the release date for that, by the way. Then there's a bit of an announcement, which I didn't really know what to make of it. I was kind of excited, but the latest partner for Microsoft Game Studios is Crytek.
Yay.
And they showed a trailer for like a game that was called Codename Kingdoms, or Codenamed Kingdoms.
Yeah.
Couldn't work that one out, really. Sort of looks like 300.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think big sweaty men, okay. It wasn't really show anything. If it was big sweaty women, I probably would have been more...
If it was big sweaty cowboys...
Shut up, you tart.
Right, well, I mean, exciting news. Crytek's, has really made a name for themselves. I mean... Yeah. We'll get on to Crysis 2 at some point, but
obviously it's just an announcement that they're working on a project. There was really nothing to see as of yet. It wasn't even... It
wasn't even a game trailer for a game. It was just a trailer. It could have just easily been for a movie. It's live action.
We know they're working on some sort of medieval, possibly fantasy. It's going to be quite bloodthirsty, I imagine.
Yeah. Okay, well there's not much we can say about that, obviously, because we don't know much about it. No one really does. After that... Dude from Bungie came out. I don't know names. And then we're talking about Halo Reach.
Yeah.
Which we've sort of talked about on the show. The weird thing is, I love first-person shooters, but I'm not really into Halo.
No, it kind of lost it a bit with me with Halo 2. I mean, I loved the first one.
I think it's just a little bit too sci-fi for me. I like my sci-fi mixed with like horror.
Yeah.
Which is why I like Dead Space. Which
we'll get onto later.
but yeah.
No, I think for me now it's just become so overhyped and so many people are playing it and there are so many sorts of people and it has that multiplayer culture of complete tossers. Not that if you love the Halo games...
Don't dig too much of a hole, but go on.
No. If you love the Halo games and you're good at it doesn't mean you're a tosser, but you have to admit there's nothing worse than... just like signing onto a game and getting completely owned all the time, because there are people who spend their whole lives on it.
I mean, it's such a big following for Halo that you're going to get those sort of people. But it's the same with any game. It's the same with Call of Duty, really. You get so many tossers on there.
I think Halo is kind of like the mascot of the 360, and me being the black sheep that I am, I kind of shied away from it a bit. But well, anyway, hey, you're a Halo fan. You're getting a new game. It looks good.
Yeah, it does look right.
Really happy for you.
Basically, they came out and announced that 2.7 million people played the beta.
Yeah,
which is quite big fucking numbers for a beta.
But it doesn't surprise me though, because it's Halo. That's what I said.
They showed some footage of the campaign mode. It looked good. It looked like Halo to me. I mean, I don't really know what to say about it because I'm not really into Halo, but it looked alright. It looked pretty cool. That's got a September release date. And then all the Kinect stuff happened. Pretty much. Slight demo of like the Zune marketplace, Zune sort of functionality.
Yeah.
Signing in, watching a movie,
having it as like a user interface. And
just the kind of basic stuff without even not even jumping straight into games.
Which, to be honest, I think that's one of the things about it I'm most excited about is the fact of because every time I switch my Xbox on, yeah.
What about Skittles? Which we'll get to. Sorry, I'm jumping way ahead of this because I want to kind of keep this.
Yeah. But
quick.
If it recognises you and you can talk with it, and without having to have the controller, because my girlfriend plays the Xbox. Every time she goes on there, it automatically signs in as me. She has to then find the controller, turn her controller on.
Big deal, but okay. I'm just one thing I'll say because we do need to get through this really quick because we're on another 2-hour show.
Okay.
The voice recognition stuff, kind of cool, but it doesn't actually recognise your voice.
No.
There's a big thing I read today, actually.
Yeah, about somebody, if you're watching a film, somebody can walk in the room and say, Xbox off.
Exactly. And that's what they need to kind of sort out. But then, it could cause other problems.
Yeah.
Because what if you've got, like, a sore throat? And you're like, Xbox, ESPN, or something. And then, like, it doesn't do it. It's like, I don't know. You have to get, like, somebody else to sign in to get it going for you or something.
What if you're mute?
There you go. Let's leave that there.
I think we better.
I think so.
Guys, I've got Halo fanboys and mute people hating me.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll find some other minorities who hate you by the end of the show. So then they showed the video chat Video Connect. Yeah, there's like a whole thing at the bottom where you can share, like, you can watch news, sports, TV, movies, music and stuff. Share that with the person you're chatting with.
Yeah.
It also works with Windows Live Messenger, and we know now that it has face tracking.
Hey.
Which is kind of cool. So yeah, then the ESPN announcement. Don't think it really applies to us. It's more for US market sort of thing.
Yeah.
Isn't it? It is more for America.
Yeah. Again, if you're American and you like sports,
woohoo, go you. I mean, I've got ESPN on. I've got cable, so I can watch ESPN if I really want to. But you know, I don't.
You don't have little like avatars and everything at the bottom of the screen.
No,
do
I
you?
don't need that.
Keeping the scores.
Cool. That's pretty good. I mean, there's so much live and on-demand sports events that you can see. It's free to gold members. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Any extra content is always good.
Yeah.
And that is big news because there's so many sports fans in the US. I mean, I'm not a big sports fan. It wouldn't appeal to me even if we did have it over here, but still very good news. And it has Connect functionality as well, which is another really cool thing. They're using it for a lot of different things.
Yeah.
So then there was a bunch of they showed off like 7 launch titles. There's going to be 15, I think, were announced.
Yeah.
They showed 7.
Yeah.
I'm going to go through the titles. I'm just going to briefly go through what we thought of them. So Connectimals, pretty much iPad.
Yeah,
but
it had some pretty cool moments in it of like the technology.
It's cute. It's very cute.
Yeah.
If you've got kids, I mean, totally, you'd get it, wouldn't you? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it's basically iPad. I think in some ways it's better than iPad because iPad superimposes the image on you, whereas this has its own 3D environment. So I think it just gives it more freedom to express and be itself. So obviously they've given themselves.
I think it's really cute and I think it's going to sell. Right? I think it'll appeal to a lot of people.
I mean, we both got kids, and we both know we're going to get it for.
Yeah, pretty much exactly. This is exactly what I'm thinking. They said there's like 40 animals and 30 different activities you can do with them.
I want a tiger.
Pretty cool, huh? Yeah. I might give me some tiger.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what that was supposed to sound like. Connect Sports. Pretty much.
Wii Sports?
Yeah. But the thing is, like, the Microsoft showed these off, right? And they're getting the piss taken out of them because these are basically things you've been able to do on the Wii for a long time. They're better looking and all that, but, you've been able to do them on the Wii. But, like, I will say that, I know I'm jumping ahead a little bit here, but Sony announced some stuff for me that's pretty much the same as this. Sports stuff. And I was really ripping the shit out of them, do you know what I mean?
No, I mean, and their controllers are probably more like the Wii controllers than ours.
Exactly.
I mean, I have Wii Sports. I cheat on it. I sit on the sofa, I do minimal movements, flicking my wrists, and it has certain results. With this, with Connect, it can scan your body. It's hard
when you're sat on your arse doing fuck all.
It's harder to cheat.
Yeah. So Connect Sports, basically there's 200 metre hurdles. It will pretty much use your avatar as well. There's football, bowling, athletics, table tennis, boxing, volleyball, things like that, all good. Then there was a sort of demo of a game that I was interested in last year when it was announced. It's supposed to be a free download, Joyride, which is now called Connect Joyride, and you now have to pay for the motherfucker.
Yeah.
Right, so that's not good, but, it looks fun.
Yeah.
In a cheesy Mario Kart-y kind of arcadey kind of, not really Mario Kart, but it's alright. I mean, there's a real big theme going through these Connect games. Like, you can sort of see how they all look alike. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, they have it's their own brand. It's like Wii Sports, Wii Fit, everything. They all go together.
You can see, you can tell they're the same group of games.
And it's basically all it is Microsoft trying to target the same demographic as the Wii, which in some ways is a good thing because all those families that have kids who play games and have Xboxes, and the parents thought, well, can't get a Wii because
we've already got an
Xbox and whatever. It opens up to that. Whether it'll overtake the Wii or not, don't know.
The Wii's got big numbers, but I think it'll do okay. I don't think this is a bad thing. I personally would rather play these sorts of games on the Xbox using this camera than I would on the Wii. I've got a Wii, but I don't really play it.
No.
And I don't. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I think this is much more.
It's current gen technology as well.
Yeah.
Whereas the Wii's not much more powerful than the GameCube.
Yeah, it's pretty much just a GameCube.
Yeah.
So that was announced. Cheesy bit of a demonstration, Eat My Dust Jarl and all that. Yeah. Kinect Adventures looks alright.
Yeah.
All we got to see of it anyway. Just various different games, bit into that. Jump in sort of co-op type stuff.
Yeah,
so like versus mode, you know.
Party games and stuff.
Yeah, pretty much. But I thought it was kind of cool. They just said, "Hey, come in," and then like literally, it was split screen like that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's great. Jump in, jump out, kind of. You know, because that's those sort of games you just do want to play for a little bit and then duck out or whatever and then do something else.
It's good because if you're doing any game with like physical activity, you want to make it fun so it doesn't feel too much like hard work, and that looks like it could be quite fun.
Yeah. Then Ubisoft announced the fitness game, the Your Shape Fitness Evolved game.
Wii Fit,
pretty much. But I think it's going to be. I think that's going to be pretty cool.
Again, that's what I'm saying. It can tell when you're cheating. It can tell what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
It can tell how you're moving and correct you and doing that. And the fact that it's got like, I think what interested me the most is like the yoga and the martial arts programs and stuff, because that looks kind of fun to put you in there and give you something specific.
I agree. And then MTV and Harmonix came on and showed us Dance Central.
That made me laugh.
Yeah, but I actually think it's kind of
good.
cool.
It is good.
I mean, like, it's not. I mean, I can't dance, but I might make a prat of myself in front of this game just for the hell of it. You know, I mean, like, I can see people thinking, well, it's just a bit of fun. You know, it seems easily accessible, like very just, you know, make a prat of yourself, kind of fun.
Yeah,
game.
It does look good. I probably won't get it myself because I know I can't dance.
My girlfriend will get it because she saw the demo and said that she
when,
really
when
wants
I
it.
come over yours, I will play it, but I won't get it myself.
Yeah. So that's kind of cool. I mean, it's good that Harmonix are actually doing something other than Rock Band and just you know. And then this will make you happy, obviously. LucasArts and Microsoft Game Studios pretty much announced Star Wars. Something video game.
Yeah, I was really looking forward to it, and you know the premise is still quite cool.
If it's called Kinect Star Wars, I'm just going to cry.
I hope not.
There's no title really; it just said Star Wars.
No, I mean I was expecting like proper lightsaber duels and things. This looks basically like a rail shooter or a rail slasher. There's nothing I've got against it, but I want to actually see it because they've not actually. They said, "Oh yeah, this is all in-game thing. This is somebody been playing." I want to see somebody playing it.
I watched. Well, there was apparently on the Sunday night thing they did that we didn't actually get to see. There was somebody demoing it. I did get to see a bit of footage of that. I actually thought, not being funny, when I watched the footage of this, I actually thought it looked really fake. Like this wasn't actually a real game. Yeah, it's something that's just. Do you know what I mean? They've just thrown together. Yeah, as like a. You know, just like a video. Yeah, like a previs or something. And it just didn't look like a real game. The way everything moved just did not seem like this is something that's running on an Xbox. Yeah. To me, it just did not. It just looked a bit strange. Yeah. But if you were actually playing it and you saw it while you're playing it and knew it was a real game, how would that make you feel? I mean, it'd be pretty awesome. I mean, I'm not that excited about this, but if you had this on when I came over, I'd be like, let me just fucking try and kick Darth Vader's ass quickly before doing the podcast or whatever. Do you know what I mean? I'd probably have a go on it, and it'd probably be kind of fun. But I'd have my fun and then probably be like, okay, I've had my fill of this. Yeah. Yeah. That's coming out in 2011. No real dates have been... No solid dates have been announced for many of these things. Obviously, like the main bulk of the Kinect stuff's coming out launch. Yeah. Which is November 4th, I do believe. Yeah. Or thereabouts. I don't know if that includes UK. Not being funny, the technology is working and up and running now, so the actual camera device itself, I'm assuming it's going to come out pretty much the same day everywhere. Yeah. More or less within the same week at least. So whether the US get it before us, I don't think there'll be a big gap. It'll be them, basically. It'll be the Tuesday Friday thing. They'll probably get it on Tuesday because that's their release time. The Friday in the same week. Yeah. What did you think to the Forza 3 demo they did with using Kinect? Kind of cool. I did like the fact. I think the thing that blew my mind about it is, you're controlling it with your hands in front of there doing little motions. We mentioned that's how you do racing car games, but the fact that as you turn your head inside the car, you turn and look, that is kind of pretty cool. It's cool. And then they did the thing about like just looking around the car.
just looking around the car and
getting
going
in
and getting in
starting.
and sitting around.
Pretty cool. I like that. That was kind of freaky though. I mean, I don't know. I think that'd freak me out a little bit if I was actually looking around this car.
Yeah.
But that's pretty cool.
But how often do you get to look around for it? It's what they said.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
like,
that's it, isn't it? Yeah.
gives you the chance.
They were a little bit shy on the details about this. Is this going to be like, if you've got Forza 3, there'll be a patch that allows you to do this? Or do you have to go out and buy a special version of Forza 3 for Kinect?
Well, did it actually say it was Forza 3? I just saw it was Forza Motorsport.
They said Forza, but the logo in the background was Forza 3.
Mm.
But they didn't specifically say Forza 3, so maybe it's like Forza 4. This is what they're really building it for.
Yeah. I have a strong feeling it's going to be its own game.
Possibly.
Rather than an update
Kinect
to an
Forza.
existing one. Oh, God. I can't, no. No,
so
it's too late in the day for things like that.
Yeah. Okay, so we're really dragging on the Microsoft thing.
Okay.
But we spent almost half an hour talking about it. But,
Sorry, a lot of this will be cut out.
And then the bomb dropped with the new slim, sleek, ass, sexy, small Xbox 360. Now, last week we were talking about announcing of consoles. What we meant by that was announcing a new console, right?
Yeah.
As in, this is not a 360, it's a 720. And we mentioned the PS4 thing, yeah? By that, we did not mean a new version of a 360, right? So, to get that very clear, obviously we were saying...
We didn't see this happening, we're not psychic.
No, I'm just saying, like, last week we were dispelling the whole thing about there being a new console. Obviously, a new version of a 360 doesn't constitute as a new console.
No,
right?
it's like the
Slim.
PlayStation
It is
Slim.
a 360, right, at the end of the day. Pretty much fucking awesome. It's everything the 360 should have been from day one, though. That's the only disappointing thing about it, is that it's coming out now.
Yeah.
They could have done this so much... Like, they could have done this last year, or even the year before, right? Wi-Fi built in. Now, the Wii and the PS3 have that. Xbox never had that. They've used that really as an excuse to for people to spend more money on products.
Yeah.
Really stupidly overly expensive Wi-Fi adapter. That's now built in.
And it's a really good Wi-Fi adapter as well.
It's
like the fastest one you can get.
802.11n, right? Fastest Wi-Fi you can get at the minute. Then it's got obviously got the 250 gig hard drive. So max storage. I mean, you can go and buy a hard drive for your current 360. But they're like 80 quid.
Yeah.
The Wi-Fi adapter is about 50 to 60 quid, right? And there's already pre-orders on a certain website, which we've tweeted about. I don't want to mention on here because it's plugging them. But for £199.99, which is what the Elite's pretty much selling for now.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Elite and the Arcade are having they've announced a $50 price drop in the US, which works out roughly to like £35 here.
Yeah.
So we may see a similar kind of, about around £30 to £40 knocked off the Elite and the Arcade to make way for this. It's coming out in Europe on July 16th, I do believe.
Yeah.
What do you think? I mean, I think it's pretty awesome, but I think it's a little bit too... Well, that was actually another thing. It's also got a Kinect port on the back and Toslink, audio cable, yeah. Which I think is something that they've needed as well.
Yeah, because you needed to buy an adapter for that before.
Pain in the ass.
Yeah.
So yeah, what do you think?
I think it's awesome.
New design as well, obviously.
Yeah,
it looks totally different.
I think it's awesome. If I had lots of money right now, I'd get it. But I don't. I've got 2 Xboxes anyway. I'm trying to say to my girlfriend, it's nice, but we don't really need it. She's turned around and said to me, no, we're getting it. So...
It's unusual. It's kind of like,
Yeah. No, she says...
Not what you expect.
No, we're getting it. I'm like, well, can't really afford it, and blah, blah, blah. She says, I don't care, I'll save up for it.
You've got 4 weeks, roughly. So that's, I mean, pretty solid as far as I'd say overall. The media briefing for Microsoft was pretty solid. Some good stuff shown, a lot of Kinect stuff, which I was quite happy about. So that pretty much rounds up Microsoft. We're going to take a very short break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about Nintendo's media briefing.
Yeah.
Okay, welcome back to the Games4all podcast. We're now going to be talking about the Nintendo media briefing.
Oh, so excited.
I was surprised, because last week we were saying there wasn't an awful lot, we didn't think there'd be a lot for them to show off.
No, but
how wrong we were.
I think they've been like the most interesting press conference of all of them, to be quite honest.
Yeah. Well, obviously we're pressed for time. We don't want this podcast to run over time like the last one did, but Zelda Skyward Sword,
the Zelda game,
basically Zelda for the Wii, the first Zelda game for the Wii.
Yeah, I mean the last Zelda game was developed for the GameCube and then ported over to the Wii.
Yeah.
This one is Wii, so it's going to be good. It's going to be Zelda. It looks like it controls exactly the same.
It uses the Wii Motion Plus as well.
Yeah, I mean I love the Zelda games. I loved all of them from the N64. I played them on the SNES even.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get this.
I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will. There's a very strange, because like they blitz free some. Reggie blitz free a lot of stuff, right? And NBA Jam was one of them.
Yeah.
I remember NBA Jam from like the days of like freaking Saturn.
Yeah,
playing on the Saturn. But anyway, and then Mario Sports Mix, that was announced. Sort of, it's pretty much like there's basketball, volleyball, sort of ice skating on the beach. From what I could tell, very random, but like it's like
it's a Mario sports game.
Yeah, pretty much. What do you think about that?
Yeah. That's pretty much it.
No, it's kind of, I mean, you know,
theirs was like Mario and Sonic at the Winter Olympics, and it's a part of the franchise they're wanting to carry on, so it will sell because it's Mario.
Yeah, that's got a 2011 release. I say date. There's not really a date there, but it's going to come out 2011. Wii Party.
Yeah,
like a multiplayer party game thing. You got your Mii's involved. There's 32 party games and 72 mini games.
Which is perfect, because the Wii is perfect for parties.
Comes out this Christmas or holiday.
It's perfect timing, really.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, they can't go wrong with those sort of things.
No.
Especially around holiday.
Yeah.
It's going to sell. People will buy it. They'll have fun with it on Christmas Day.
Anything with like the Wii brand.
Yeah, pretty much. It's going to. You know, I think the only thing they've had a failure with is probably Wii Music or something. So it's cack. Just Dance 2. Trailer for Just Dance 2 was shown.
Yeah.
Apparently Just Dance did well. It was successful.
Yeah.
Millions of people bought it.
Yeah.
When did that happen?
While you weren't looking.
Possibly.
I know. I have had to fight tooth and claw to stop my girlfriend from buying it.
I know you can pick it up pretty cheap now, but you know, a dance game on the Wii is going to do well. It's a fun party-ish type dance game. People like it. You know. This is just the second one. Extra stuff, really. Same thing, but extra stuff, different songs.
Yeah.
They showed a trailer. I think the only big thing I got from the trailer is that you can have up to 8 people playing it at once.
Yeah, I think my problem with things like this is like what I was saying with Kinect, is that you can fool it. You just have to wait. It just senses where the controllers are, so it can't tell how you're dancing. Whereas the one on Kinect, it can scan your body and do all that. So, you know, I'd probably lean towards the Microsoft one, but.
Yeah,
you know, lots of people have the Wii, and lots of people are into this sort of thing. We'll get it.
So then, sorry, moving on, because we got, you know, don't have to spend too long talking about Just Dance 2. A DS game called Golden Sun Dark Dawn announced. I know nothing about this. Right, I'm not huge into Nintendo.
No,
not anymore.
No,
right. I own a Wii, but like, you know, I don't really keep up with stuff. I don't own a DS. I don't know much about DS games, to be fair. You know more than me. Your thoughts?
Golden Sun has a pedigree. It was like, it first came out on, I think it was Game Boy Advance.
Right.
But it's kind of a spiritual successor to the Shining series that was on the Sega Mega Drive / Genesis, depending which side of the pond you're from, and like Sega Saturn.
I was going to say, because that is weird, because when I watched the trailer for it, they showed it, I did get that vibe from it.
Yeah, definitely.
Very strange.
The original Golden Sun games on the Advance, I had them. I loved them. They were really, really good. Like classic, so Japanese style, fairly Final Fantasy-ish, but more back when Final Fantasy was really good.
Right. Okay.
Style games. So excited about that.
Yeah.
We'll probably pick it up.
I'm sure you will. Well, if you do, you'll have to talk about it. But big announcement. We sort of leaked anyway. We sort of knew it was going to happen. But GoldenEye.
Yeah.
GoldenEye for the Wii, baby. Now, I never owned an N64, but I knew people who did have an N64, and I knew people who had an N64 and had GoldenEye.
Yeah,
and I used to play GoldenEye.
Yeah,
I like GoldenEye. It was a great first-person shooter, and I'm so glad that they're going to bring it back. Because
I think it's probably
I might pick this up, dude. I have a Wii. I don't buy games for it very often, but fuck, I might get this.
It is the big theme this year, is remaking old games, and you know that is very strong, especially with Nintendo. but they're remaking it. It's going to be slightly different. There's going to be slightly different level design and everything, and it's not going to be Pierce Brosnan and putting Daniel Craig into it.
I think that's kind of cool. I don't really like Pierce Brosnan.
They have said it's like going to have the levels like with the tank chase and everything. Yeah, that's going to be in there. So it's not going to be too different. They're going to try.
I don't think they'll stray too far from the original, because they'll no, because
turn
a lot of people off.
They'll not. They won't want to alienate the fans. But no, GoldenEye back in the day, I think it was perhaps the main example of what a good movie license game is.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's one of the only examples we can say that movie to game conversion actually worked.
To be quite honest, I think the game was probably better than the film. But there you go.
That's another discussion. I actually agree with you there. But so it's got a split screen. You've got online multiplayer. You've got 16 game modes, and it comes out this holiday season, baby.
Yeah.
So not that long to wait, really.
James Bond goodness.
Yeah. So you just know this is going to sell well, though. This is probably one of maybe 2 or 3 of their killer apps for this. Yeah. This year. Right?
Yeah, this is like their main Wii title.
Pretty much.
Because also it's a hardcore gamer thing as well. There will be people there who enjoyed the N64 but didn't get the Wii because it was more of a family-orientated thing that will be tempted to buy a Wii now.
No, I think they will. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, absolutely. And then the epicness continues, because it seemed to be a bit of a key word at this media briefing. Disney Epic Mickey.
Yes. Hell yes.
Right. It's a sort of platformer style Mickey Mouse game that draws from 80 years of the history of Mickey Mouse and Disney.
It's made by Warren Spector, who has done a lot of games that not like this at all. He did the original Deus Ex, which was like big epic game back in the day. And so him going from that to doing Mickey Mouse Disney seems kind of weird, but he seems to have put kind of like a slightly darker bent on it. I mean, there were like images released ages and ages ago which gave it a very sort of dark, brooding, kind of slightly perverse feel.
All right.
But
I know nothing about that.
No.
I know you can manipulate the game world a little bit.
Yeah, you can paint over things and
or erase things.
But but looking at some of the screenshots and some of the things in play, it reminds me of like Mickey Mania back in the day. So it is very retro. It's very sort of classic. People who enjoyed the old Mickey Mouse games, and all that, but with a slightly newer, darker bent. So,
more epicness now.
Yeah,
with Kirby's Epic Yarn. Hasn't been a Kirby game for 7 years, I do believe.
I loved Kirby. Some of my favourite games on the old Nintendo systems were Kirby games.
Right.
But yeah, this will be interesting. Again, this will sell well. It's cute enough to open up to a new audience, and fans of the old Kirby games will get it.
I'm sure they will. Dragon Quest 9.
Yeah. I had
DS titles.
Yeah. I had Dragon Quest 8 on the PlayStation 2, and I think honestly it was one of my favourite games that I had. So it's a bit weird that this one comes out on DS only, and it's not a major platform. Not one of the big console ones, and it's only a handheld one. But no, I'll be getting that.
Okay.
Dragon Quest has...
I have no real opinion on it, because it's really not my kind of game.
I think it's like one of the best-selling DS games in Japan, I think.
Yeah, I think they did say something similar to that.
We knew it would be coming over here eventually.
Well, we don't know when it's coming over here, but in the US its release date is July 11th, I do believe.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it won't be long before we get it.
Lucky Yanks.
And by we, I mean you.
No, yeah.
Metroid, other M. We did sort of mention it last week.
Yeah. This is Metroid back to its roots. I mean, it's gone 3D first-person shooter with the Metroid Prime series recently, but this is Team Ninja, who did the Dead or Alive games. They're making it 2D again. It looks nice. It looks good.
They showed a trailer that looked kind of intriguing. I'm not really into the Metroid games.
No. But it's more emphasis on exploring. It's very sort of similar to the Castlevania games. Right, you have this huge, it's not open map, but it's like a huge map for you to explore and to upgrade, and to get to certain areas you need to be at certain things. So people know what to expect with it. And I have to say, for a Wii game, it actually looks really, really, really nice.
Yeah, it looked good. The release date for that, I think, is August 31st. I'm not sure if that's US only or UK and US, you know.
All I know is that's the one I will definitely be getting no matter what.
Okay, well, a few more things to talk about on the Nintendo side of things. This one I'm intrigued by because I haven't played this game since the days of the SNES, right? Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah. Yeah.
And remember how good that looked for a SNES game when that came out?
Yeah.
The graphics were amazing on that.
No, I mean,
at the time.
It's one of these things that people have been calling out for these games for years. It's like
it is the Nintendo media briefing was pretty much the whole thing was fanboy service, really, in a way, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, you remember these games you used to play when you were younger and you loved? We were remaking them, and now you can get them on Wii or DS, whatever.
It's kind of in making old games. Like I was saying, I was playing on the Wii. I was playing Super Smash Brothers Brawl. There were like a lot of the old Nintendo characters on that, and when people play that, are like, "Oh, you need to make a new version of this game. You need to make a new version of the game." Nintendo seem to have listened, and they seem to be doing that.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, it was a very surprising media briefing. It shocked me at how much stuff.
Yeah,
they were actually. I think a lot of people were shocked by it, but a lot of great stuff.
Do you know one thing that didn't shock me?
What was that?
Lack of vitality sensor.
Yeah,
I knew it wouldn't turn up.
Yeah,
when you said it, I knew.
Yeah,
it
I know.
Apparently, it wasn't right for this year's show.
I read that too. Then the big announcement came.
Oh,
not so much of an announcement because everyone knew it was there, but like the unveiling, should we say, of
the official name of
the 3DS.
Yep.
The 3DS with its 3D depth slider. No need for glasses.
That's the big thing.
Yeah, I mean, that's impressive. Obviously, we can see it because we're watching a fucking stream online or whatever, or a video online of it, but
it's as powerful as a Wii. It's 3D, it's new technology, but it looks good, baby.
Yeah, I mean, it's a DS. You've got the screen up top's a 3.5-inch widescreen.
Yeah.
And you've got the typical kind of DS screen at the bottom.
Yeah, even though it's slightly higher resolution.
Yeah. You've got the weird. I don't know what's with the 3D depth slider. Why it's just not like 3D on, 3D off. But anyway, that's kind of cool that you can, tweak the level of 3Dness.
Maybe it's dependent on how near or short-sighted you are.
Possibly.
You're short-sighted and you're long-sighted.
I think it's cool that you don't need glasses. They did make a big thing of it. Can you really see people walking around like or on a bus or a train or whatever with their DS with fucking stupid glasses on? You can't really see it. And that's one thing they took into account. It's quite considerate of them, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. I
mean,
the technology for that sort of thing is still fairly expensive at the moment, but on a screen that size, it's
because
cost-effective.
For one thing, in your own home, when you're playing on your PS3 or your Xbox or your PC or whatever it is, you don't mind putting some stupid fucking glasses on to watch a movie or play a game in 3D, right?
No.
In the comfort of your own home. Because you're the only one who's going to be there. No one else is really going to see you.
Yeah.
Out and about, which is a lot of people play this when they're on the train or on a bus or whatever, they ain't going to want to wear stupid glasses.
No.
So, good on them.
Yeah.
Let's just briefly go over some of the features. There's going to be tons of games at launch for this, by the way.
Yeah.
Tons of games. We can't really go through them, but it's got 2 cameras on the outside for taking 3D photos. Fucking well good. That's awesome. It's got an analog stick now, an analog pad thing.
Yeah.
That was something we sort of knew about it. I think like several days ago before this conference. I think people said about.
Well, the thing is. Also, what we'll mention with the games is it's a lot more powerful, so there's going to be a lot more 3D titles for it. So an analog stick for 3D games is pretty much a must. So,
improved graphics, which we talked about. I think we even mentioned it last week. It's got a motion and gyro sensor.
Yeah.
So certain games are going to take advantage of that, obviously. And there's the potential here for 3D movies.
Yeah.
On a DS without glasses.
Yeah.
And they're actually demoing at E3 about 3 or 4 different movie trailers that are going to be in 3D on the 3DS to give you an idea of what that's going to be like. Obviously, they haven't got full 3D movies playing on them, but like just trailers.
Yeah.
To give you a sample of that, what is possible in the future. And I think, personally, a lot of movie companies will probably get on to this now. Like, because the idea of having a movie on a DS before wasn't that appealing, but now it's 3D. Everyone loves 3D. It's the bit. I mean, 3D was the big thing of E3 this year.
Yeah, it's 3D. It's more powerful. It's like PSP. It is spitting in the PSP's face. It's saying, "Oh well, our little, not quite as powerful handheld.
I think the DS has been doing that for a long time.
Yeah, the little DS like beat the PSP outright. We know this. Everybody knows this. If you have a PSP and you love it, you just have to face the fact.
Yeah.
But now they've got the more powerful one, which can do everything that the PSP could, and it still plays DS games and everything. So obviously people are going to more incentive to put movies and stuff on it.
Yeah. So that's exciting.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to go through. There's at the end. Once they announced it, they went through a brief list of games. From
most of them remakes.
Yeah. Well, we'll go through these. Kid Icarus Uprising.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
I figured you'd like that. Not quite as exciting for you, obviously. Is Nintendogs and Cats. Well, you know it's going to happen there because it is a big title on the DS.
Yeah, and
they're going to make it 3D and they're going to add cats.
Yeah, I think they've said the whole with the internal camera and everything, you can tell where your face is, so the dogs can follow you around and everything.
Yeah.
So for kids,
totally,
and for people who like dogs
and cats.
Can you get them to fight though?
I actually was wondering that. Round 1, fight. DJ Hero 3D.
Okay.
Not totally sure how it works on the DS, but I can imagine there been scratching and all that kind of works. Yeah. 3D. I think that might be off-putting for me personally, or maybe not. Maybe it makes it easy to play it. I don't know. Who knows?
I don't know.
Lots of unanswered questions. Anyway, New Kingdom Hearts for the DS. That's going to be 3D.
Yeah.
Saints Row.
Oh my god.
I love Saints Row. Don't get me wrong. I like Saints Row. Good stuff on the DS.
Well,
and in 3D?
This is the thing, it's more powerful now, so I think, although it is a DS, we need to stop thinking of it as a DS. It's a more powerful system now, which I think is fully competent at playing more powerful games.
I agree, but I can't imagine... For some reason I wouldn't have imagined that as a title that they'd be announcing.
No.
For this, you know. A Resident Evil game. It wasn't really specific on that, it just said Resident Evil. Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
Kind of cool, like that. And a new Metal Gear Solid game.
Yeah.
Cool. Right.
I mean, the original Metal Gears back in the day, the really old ones before the PlayStation, they were all on Nintendo, and it's nice to see it back.
Yeah, definitely, I agree.
Like I said, it's all going to be good. I think it's going to be much more mainstream system now as well, because it can play more powerful games that stand up now compared to the big three.
Yeah.
So
exciting times.
Yeah.
Some really good announcements from Nintendo. You surprised me. Took me by complete surprise.
I know.
Very good.
Like I said, I have Nintendo consoles. I am never really been like the biggest fan of Nintendo. Obviously, there have been certain games that I love from Nintendo, but I have to say, I think I was most impressed by them overall of all three press conferences.
Defo. Right, so we're going to take another quick break because that rounds up the Nintendo Media Briefing, or talk on Nintendo Media Briefing, and we're going to come back with talking about the Sony Media Briefing. So join us in a sec for that. Hello and welcome back to the Games4all podcast. We're going to talk about the Sony Media Briefing that happened at E3. Personally, my thoughts were that it was not that impressive.
Oh, I think it was the biggest disappointment.
The good announcements were towards the end, which we'll get to, but it was a bit mishmash, this bit of that. I don't know. It seemed a bit strange to me.
A lot of smack talk, wasn't it?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I know I'm going to come across as a bit of an Xbox fanboy, but they really were seeming to big up the PS3 a lot. Like, it was more about our console is better than your console, not about look at the quality of stuff we've got. This is the epicness of games.
This is the thing. If they had more to announce and more,
they concentrated too much on bigging up the actual console itself.
Yeah, and they didn't actually have the titles there to back it up.
In a way,
I could have forgiven them for bigging up their console and smack talking everything else if they actually had something there.
Well, they had some stuff. Well, let's just sort of go for it. First of all, it started off with a bit of a demo of Killzone 3, which is apparently in 3D. Not that we got to see that, but everyone else there did. For heavy emphasis on 3D.
Yeah.
We all know it's sort of kind of the future.
Yeah.
Is it the future now, or is it the future in the future? Do you know what I mean?
I don't know. I think for the early adopters who went out and bought a 3D television right early,
Suckers.
yeah, they're going to enjoy it. But like I said, it's nice to have it there for when it is in the future.
Yeah.
When
Well, anyway,
we do have
Killzone
it.
3 looks alright. I haven't really played the Killzone games. Killzone 2 was a big deal because, whatever. Apparently the first Killzone didn't do too great. On
No,
like
I
PlayStation
think
2,
the first
whatever.
one was more of like a cult hit. It happened sort of after it was released.
But, yeah, it doesn't surprise me that they're doing Killzone 3 and that's showing, and it's going to be in 3D and blah blah blah. That doesn't surprise me
It's
at
kind
all.
of the new flagship first-person shooter title. It was originally like Resistance, but then and that's now Killzone this, Killzone that.
Pretty much.
So,
Then they moved on to, funny, to the PlayStation Move demo, which personally was not that impressive at all, because it really only consisted of a couple of... They really didn't show off. It was like, this is Move, here's a game called Sorcery. I thought, this is what you're going to show us?
yeah.
This game that sort of is Harry Potter-ish. Harry Potter-esque.
Yeah.
I wasn't impressed by it, and it's like they kept going on about the 1-to-1 ratio movement of like your body to the actual what you see on screen, and that's great and everything, and how impressed developers are with it and all this stuff. But it's like, it's great that everyone seems to love it apparently.
But show us more
But
of it.
this game did not impress me.
No.
You can turn into where we're at. That's all right. You can cost. Well, is this for kids? Or is it for... I don't know who this is for. I think it's more for kids.
Yeah.
Not
Like I said,
exciting,
it's
if I'm
not
honest.
really my thing.
It's not what I thought they'd be... I thought they were going to be like, right, Move. This is the quality of stuff within. Because their big thing was like... And I'll mention this... I'll mention a bit of an against for Kinect. It was all cutesy-poo kind of Wii-ish stuff that they showed off. Didn't show off anything hardcore enough from a lot of people. And the thing is... PS3 are bragging that you can, you'll be able to play shooters with this. They should have demoed that.
Yeah, they had the gun accessory in a case. It's pretty much like sort of like what the Wii has, where you clip it into there, but it looks like a proper solid gun.
And they should. That would impress me a hell of a lot more if they changed something like that. But anyway, this Sorcery game, I'm sure it's going to be fun for the people who were into it. But
the big thing with the Move is kind of like a backstep. It's more. I think there are more titles that are already out that will be retrofitted to have Move capabilities, like Heavy Rain. I think
Heavy Rain's one of them. Yeah,
the controls on that were fairly atrocious. The one big problem I had with it. So if the Move makes that easier, then yay. But that game's already out.
Yeah.
So why don't you show us some new games for it?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, they showed off Tiger Woods PGA Tour 11.
So like I said, they needed more like hardcore like shooter titles. I think it's a system that would make shooting games on there really, really cool. I can imagine like a new Time Crisis or whatever.
There is going to be a new Time Crisis.
Well, obviously. But
why didn't they show it?
Why didn't you show it?
They showed, it's just to say that towards the end of the thing, they showed a lot of trailers and clips and stuff. There's tons of clips.
Yeah,
I'm just demonstrations. It's like it works, but we're not really going to show it to you.
Yeah, I'm just a bit worried. Like, when is it supposed to be coming out again?
Europe September 15th, North America September 19th, and Japan October 21st.
Okay, well, it's coming out.
So you surprised I actually had those dates?
Yeah. I was testing you.
Okay.
I was hoping to trip you up. I failed. Damn it. But this is what worries me the most, is the fact that Kinect is coming out after that. And they had a hell of a lot more to show. I mean, it's coming out. It's not got that long. When are we going to see what it's got, or is this just it? Because I think unless they step up over the next couple of months and show more hardcore titles, more reasons to buy it, then it's just not going to generate the interest.
Yeah, and it isn't about this in the PlayStation or anything like that. I just think they went about it all wrong. If they really want to impress people with it, they should have gone. This is what you can't. These are the games you can't play on the Wii.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? This is it is so much like the Wii, but you can't play this game on the Wii. You can't,
they're making the same mistakes. They're bringing out a system saying it's fantastic, but they're not supporting it with enough games.
Yeah, we need to kind of get moving because we were stuck at Tiger Woods. But then there's a slight little trailer for Heroes on the Move, which is like a it's like Ratchet and Clank and some of their other cutesy pea characters for the PlayStation.
Yeah.
Sort of platformy type thing, I imagine. They don't really show much of it, but that uses Move. I think, strangely enough, Heroes on the Move, they made emphasis on the fact that was a working title.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure they won't pick a title better than that, so that's probably what it'll be called.
I have to say, I think the way, on a plus side for the Move, I will say, I think the way it's designed is it's slightly, because I've played like platform games on the Wii, and you have like the nunchuck for moving about and the buttons. Sometimes it can be quite hard getting to all the buttons, but I think the Move is designed slightly better, so it's easy, so you can play like normal games with it as well. So functionality, see, the technology is there, the ability is there, just do something with it.
Yeah, definitely. And the weird thing is, then they went on to talk about the PSP, which we all know isn't doing that great anymore.
No.
Not that they really ever did to begin with, but they announced God of War Ghost of Sparta for the PSP, and then they said that by December, there's going to be between now and December, there's going to be 70 new titles for the PSP. And they went through a list of them. They're really trying to throw it, ram it down people's throats. PSP, because they felt so much pressure from the DS. It's doing so much better.
And now the new DS.
Exactly, they've got to show something PSP. Whether or not that's just a load of bullshit, 70 new titles, but they did show off a lot of stuff that's coming out for it. Most of it's just not. I mean, if you own a PSP, you probably you may pick up a few of these games, but. There was no exciting standout title that you must have for the PSP.
No. I know a guy who's the exact opposite of you. He is die-hard Sony fanboy. Yeah. I personally am in the middle.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm not getting it wrong. I don't hate on Sony.
But no. He's saying he has a PSP. He has a PS3. He bought them day one. His PSP at the moment is just sitting at the bottom of his wardrobe collecting dust.
I'm sure a lot of people are.
He just doesn't use it.
Yeah. Anyway, there was a big emphasis on that for a while. It took a bit of a chunk of time. Then there was a little demo of Little Big Planet 2. I say demo. They showed off. It was quite interesting. They showed off some. They talked about some of the new stuff you can do with it.
Yeah.
As compared to the first one, new features and stuff. The fact you can make different types of games and things with it. That's kind of cool. They basically gave it to a bunch of people and said you've got 24 hours to make a game. And they showed loads of clips of different things these people have made, and it's quite impressive, the stuff.
Yeah.
Everything from like shooters, space stuff to little puzzle games and bumper car type things, all kinds of crazy stuff that people made in the space of a day.
See, that's the thing. I think Little Big Planet 2 will probably be their big thing because it's got such a huge community fan base behind it. It's got all that, and it's basically Little Big Planet has done really, really well.
Yeah.
And the second one, you just know, is going to do really, really well. They should have bigged it up more. They should have made more of an emphasis on it.
It wasn't on. They didn't have much stage time.
No. They should have really pushed that because
they probably spent more time plugging the bloody PS3 than they did Little Big Planet.
Yeah.
Which is totally wrong, if you ask me.
Yeah. I mean, it's all about the games really, and this game will do well, but at the same time, once you've shown what the new things you can do with it, everybody knows what you can do with it because they've played it before. They've played Little Big Planet, so they know what they're going to do. So how much emphasis can you put on it? So it's a tough one, but I think they should have maybe done a bit more with it.
I think they could have shown you more,
yeah,
personally. But then there was, we've talked about this I think last week. PlayStation Plus is like the premium service, and we were talking about it last week.
Yes.
Yeah, that was one of the rumours. They came out and basically said that if you pay for this premium service or the PlayStation Plus account, you'll get discounts, you'll get certain content that other people won't get, or some stuff early. Discounts, push downloads as well, so you can set like what certain content that you want to be downloaded. And that will push that it will automatically auto download basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just a few discounts and things from Pearson. We sort of talked about the room with free games, but there'd be discounts on games and content and stuff from the PlayStation Store.
Yeah, I think the free PSN title a month is still there. I think it was mentioned or rumoured or something.
No, I
don't think they put a huge emphasis on it.
I thought it was just discounts, but anyway, the announced pricing was going to be just over $3 per month. You know what I mean?
See, what it is the reason people with Xboxes pay for gold membership is to play online. Yeah, that's like the main reason people buy it. Yeah, it's nice having like early demos and all this, but most of them do it so that they can play and do stuff online.
Yeah.
PlayStation Network, you already get that for free. That's like the main thing for it. So paying just for like the demos and just for discounts and stuff, I don't think it's enough.
Well, really, I mean, by the time you paid for how much discount can you get, really? I don't know. They've got to make it worth it. So it's got to be a decent amount. Otherwise, you are pretty much paying for it anyway.
Yeah.
It seems a bit of a ass about face thing, but anyway,
it's the same price as a year-long gold membership, and
I would rather pay for that. To be fair.
Yeah.
I've played games online on the PlayStation 3, and I've found that alright. You get knobheads and stuff on Xbox Live. You get it anywhere, but I think you get less people talking on PSN because of the whole not everyone's got Bluetooth headset and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I just found overall the experience to be so much easier. It's made so much easier and user friendly on the Xbox. Not that I'm afraid of complications, but I just found it a lot more harder to play online games on PlayStation 3 and just so much easier on Xbox.
Yeah, I mean,
that's just my opinion.
Yeah, no, and
like I say, I'd rather just pay my £5 or whatever it is a month, whatever it works out to, for that, and
Yeah, the only way I could really see the new system working is if they took away the free multiplayer and said, well, you can get multiplayer for paying it, but that would cause a shitstorm.
No, they'd never do that.
That's not going to happen, like I said. The main reason you got online is to play multiplayer. That is the top reason, and if you're getting that for free, then anything else that is kind of debatable.
Totally. So then after that, there was a few demos of games, a few little announcements. We're going to try and really blitz through this stuff actually, because we can't talk too much longer about it because the show's running over time anyway. But they showed a little bit of Medal of Honor. The EA press briefing thing, they showed 24-player multiplayer.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. I want to play this game. I'm interested in it because I like Modern Warfare 2 and things like that.
Yeah. They
say this is going to be a more authentic experience. I don't care how authentic it is. Is it a better game?
Is it fun?
Is it fun to play? Exactly. Right. Yeah. I'm intrigued. I'll get this game. I'm sure I'll play it. Whether I like it as much or more, we'll see. But that's to be determined yet. That's an October 12th release date, and there are unlockable beards. So then there's a Dead Space 2 demo. Second part of this demo, because the first part of it was shown at the EA media briefing.
Yeah.
They had a whole demo, but they split into two halves. What happened is they showed this part of the game. They ended it on a cliffhanger and said, if you want to see what happens next, you have to come to the Sony briefing and watch our segment there.
I'm sensing a kind of a theme here, that Sony have kind of padded out their briefing with other things rather than their own stuff.
Yeah. Well, they showed some more of the Dead Space 2. What happened next was pretty amazing, I'll be honest. I actually I like the first Dead Space. I'm excited for this game. Then they announced the fact that there's a special edition of Dead Space 2 that's coming out PS3 only, with Dead Space Extraction on the same disc. The utilises Move. That's kind of cool, but I have that game on the Wii, so it doesn't bother me. And I know there was rumor about it being ported to PS3 and 360 a while back, and I think they'll probably still do it for 360, and it probably will come out around the same time this game. Whether it be downloadable or whether it'll be like. It'll be.
I think it's aimed
compatible.
more at the people who are fans of Dead Space who don't have Wiis, and all that. And it'll be for them.
And this is. oddly enough, because the first game came out in October, end of October 2008, I do believe, just in time for Halloween.
Yeah.
This one's coming out in January 2011. Yeah, strange. Anyway, then the big news, Gabe Newell from Valve came on stage and said, Portal 2 coming to the PS3 is a trailer. Everyone went, yay, and he walked off. And then, you know, what do you think? It's on Xbox and it's going to be on PC and that anyway, isn't it? So, Mac, most likely.
See, the fact that it's on...
Is this really news, though?
No, the fact that it's on PS3, you know, is kind of doesn't really matter. The fact that it's Portal 2.
Yeah, that's more of the announcement.
That's what I'm excited about. I don't know what I'll get it on yet. I probably won't get it on PC or Mac because, one, I don't have a Mac, and two, my PC isn't powerful enough.
Yeah.
I got the first one on the Xbox, so
I'm sure you'll probably get it on the Xbox, dude, if I'm honest.
Yeah. To be honest, yeah. But
boost that gamer score.
Cheers.
I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? I mean, you probably would rather play Xbox.
Yeah. It just feels that the only way Sony could get anything good out of their press conference is by roping in other third-party things.
There was a lot of that towards the end.
Yeah.
Which moves me on to Final Fantasy 14 teaser trailer.
Yeah.
It's like teaser trailer. It was a bit more than a teaser trailer, but it wasn't like a full trailer, I don't think.
You know, Final Fantasy 14 is an MMO. There are a lot of MMOs coming out. I'm pretty torn because I do like my massively multiplayer online games.
Mm-hmm.
But it's picking the right one for me.
Yeah.
11... Final Fantasy 11 didn't... Well, I don't think it was an epic failure, but it didn't do as good as I thought it would. I don't think. This one, it could be good, but again, there's a whole lot of other stuff out there. All I was really hoping to see and hear from was Final Fantasy Versus 13, which was supposed to be the Final Fantasy 13 that we all wanted the proper one to be. But it's looking like 14 is going to come out first.
It's possible.
To be quite honest.
So I was quite surprised that this was... I'm not a big... you know me.
No.
Not really. I don't do Final Fantasy. But, you know, I'm surprised this was kind of announced, actually. Because 13 hasn't been out long, and I don't know, it just seems...
See, it's Final Fantasy is Square's most famous property.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that.
They have hundreds of teams. I'm sure literally hundreds and thousands of them. They have lots of teams working on Final Fantasy games simultaneously.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they pretty much have them stacked up and ready. I'm sure somewhere there's somebody sitting in the basement of the Square Enix office in Japan working on 15, 16, 17, just getting them ready.
Yeah.
To start with. So
Is that you being really hopeful, or is that what you dream it's like?
To be honest, I was so excited for 13 when it was announced and coming to Xbox, and I ended up getting it on the PlayStation anyway, out of some misguided loyalty, but it was such a letdown. To be honest, I've kind of grown apart from Japanese RPGs. I mean, there are a couple coming out on the DS that I'm looking forward to, but...
Well, let's move on. Sorry to cut you short, but it's like we need to kind of scooch along a bit. Assassin's Creed Brotherhood.
That looks good.
Show some stuff off of that. The big news there is that there's going to be a beta and it's exclusive to PSN, so basically PlayStation 3. What do you reckon? Is that good? Is it good news? It's good news for PlayStation, I guess.
Yeah.
Is it good news for the game?
I don't know. I mean, Assassin's Creed is multi-platform anyway. It's just a chance for... I don't think it's going to make anybody rush out and get a PlayStation just so they can play the beta. I think I'll probably wait for the game to come out. But, you know, if you've got it and it's there, I mean, I'll probably try it out, try and get on the beta.
Yeah.
Because I like Assassin's Creed. I really love the second one. This is like Assassin's Creed 2.5, multiplayer co-op and versus and everything, and it looks interesting. I'll give it a whirl.
Yeah. Then they unveiled the trailer for Gran Turismo 5, which was also supposedly in 3D, but obviously we couldn't see that. Looks good. Looks like a really good racing game, racing sim.
I mean, you know what you're getting with Gran Turismo.
Yeah.
I mean, this one's been a long time in coming.
Yeah.
Seriously, it's been in development for God knows how many years, and it's just been pushed back and back and back, and it's finally got a release date.
Yeah. Excited about it? Will you get it?
Probably not,
No,
to be honest.
I mean, I like racing games, but I like my kind of more arcadey style racing games. I'm not a big simulated sort of racing fan.
But I know a lot of people out there will be getting it, and I know a lot of people are very excited about it, so it's good that it's finally got a release date.
Yeah.
But again, they didn't push it as much as they should have.
Yeah, I think they should have made a bigger deal out of it, for sure. But yeah,
For sure.
For sure. Infamous 2 trailer, that's what came up next.
Yeah.
A trailer, I mean, why couldn't they have demoed these games? Why couldn't they have just said... Because it's like... They killed Killzone 3, they showed a bit of that off. Infamous 2... Is it literally just like, all we've got is a trailer? Well, they have nothing playable to show?
I don't know.
It just seemed very like, we've got some stuff, let's make a briefing out of it. It just didn't seem very organised to me overall, but there you go.
I don't think they're in trouble. I think that they were just, well, not ill prepared. I just don't think they were expecting as much competition. I thought they could just like breeze through it and be blasé and just wing it, but I think Microsoft and Nintendo have really pushed the boat out this year, and I just don't think Sony have made the effort.
Doesn't seem that way, but compared to, like you say, Microsoft and Nintendo. And the last bit of it, like the big unveil, was Twisted Metal.
Yeah.
Now, I think I remember playing like a demo or something for Twisted Metal on the original PlayStation.
Yeah.
I know it's a big deal.
Again, it's
one of these games I haven't. That is a big deal, and I haven't really played much of, like Halo and stuff. I've sort of played a demo of it, I think.
It's going back to this whole retro thing of bringing back classics, and this is them doing that.
If I'm honest, out of everything that they showed off, Little Big Planet 2 and like this,
are
the only exclusive things I think I would personally play.
Yeah.
And to me, 2 games a year ain't worth having a PlayStation for.
No.
Sorry.
No, but it depends. It's not that you're going to suffer if you do have a PlayStation, because all the third-party games are coming out for it, but they just don't have the exclusives.
It doesn't seem that way, yeah, you're right. And that's what we wanted to see more of, I think.
And what exclusives they do have, haven't seemed to have pushed them hard enough.
No, it was like they overlooked Move a little bit. I think they showed the wrong games for that. Too much emphasis on the PSP, not enough emphasis on Little Big Planet. As for their premium service, whatever, and then it just showed a bunch of bits of like games that you can get on other platforms anyway. That you've, do you know what I mean? It's like for some reason, Medal of Honor seems to be demoed very heavily on PlayStation. I don't know. Like, I don't know why. And Dead Space as well, for some reason. Maybe EA's got some kind of thing going with Sony for this E3 where they're really demoing stuff on PS3.
Yeah, it's a marketing thing.
Possibly.
That they all make their partners and everything. I mean, Microsoft now is partnered up with Crytek, and Sony have just grabbed some companies and say, look, show your games on us.
Yeah.
Our system and everything. Bigger, so we'll make it worth your while.
Pretty much.
Not that it's a bad thing, it's just marketing. That's how it all works.
Well, anyway, as far as the Twisted Metal side thing goes, it looks really good, actually. I probably would... Actually, this is probably the only other... Yeah, so the only other thing I'd probably play.
Yeah.
They show, like, a Team Deathmatch demo.
Yeah.
Very cool. Actually, there's some really good ideas in there. And,
well, the first one is, like, cult classic.
Yeah, I mean, I've kind of played it, but never really got into it. To be fair, the only PlayStation I've owned is a PS3, and I don't own that anymore. I was always going around other people's houses to play on PlayStation or whatever console.
Yeah. So, like,
I never owned this game.
No.
And I think I only really played a demo of it, and that was pretty brief at best. So, you know, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's got a 2011 release window, so we know it's not coming this year, but it'll come next year. I think it'll do really well. It's going to be one of those games that sells well on, you know, because it's a huge title. But I think really overall that was probably the biggest announcement they made.
Yeah.
And I think it was just not enough.
No.
Not enough to keep me interested. Sorry, I mean, it's just how I feel. So that pretty much rounds up the whole Sony side of the media briefing. We've gone through each one now, and we've given our thoughts. We're going to take a quick break now, and we're going to come back. We're going to briefly go over some other games that we're interested in that we've seen at E3. Hello and welcome back to the Games4all podcast. We're promising to not keep you too much longer. We're going to go over some of the games that we've seen shown off at E3 that we haven't really mentioned yet. We've mentioned Gears4all 3, but
yeah,
I'm excited for that. You're excited for that. We both know that. You're excited for Fable 3. We know that also. Personally, for me, I saw Crysis 2 demoed quite a bit.
Yeah.
It looks really good. I've still got the first Crysis and Crysis Warhead to play through technically, so I want to try and get 3 days before getting this game. It is, like I say, 3D is a big thing at E3 this year.
Yeah.
And they bragged heavily about this is the only game that you'll be able to play this year that on every platform it's going to be available in 3D. So that's PC, Xbox 360 and PlayStation.
Yeah.
On each of those platforms, you will be able to utilise 3D. So that's kind of cool. I don't know if 3D's for me personally. Obviously, we mentioned Dead Space 2. It's Dead Space 2. What they show is amazing. We mentioned it, right? So we don't need to go on about it. A lot of Medal of Honor has been shown as well. There's a beta for that. You have to be a member of the EA Gun Club. There's like a thing online. You have to own, I think it's Battlefield Bad Company 2, have a VIP pass for that, and something or other to qualify to get the beta key for this. And that beta goes on, goes live on June 21st, so not long, next week. And that's on 360 and PS3, I do believe. So, but other games, I want to see more of Little Big Planet 2.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I don't think they showed enough of that. I do want to see more of Call of Duty Black Ops. Because I think what they showed is, I'm sure there's more that they could show us, personally. And then, basically speaking, Bulletstorm.
Oh, yeah,
saw some demos out of the E3 thing, and every time I see something,
that just looks so much fun.
Every time I see something like a new clip or a trailer, I just think I just want the game more and more. I want to be able to play it because it looks a hell of a lot of fun. It's really violent and over the top and visceral, but they're not trying to. They admit it. Do you know what I mean?
And that's what I like about Epic is they're very honest about it.
Yeah.
They want their games to be badass and manly and they're not
really,
do that.
That's their thing. Fine. I think it looks a hell of a lot of fun. It's kind of like I'm surprised at some of the humour that was in the little demo they showed as well. So that made me laugh. I think it's kind of cool. I really want to get this game. Big time.
It's definitely got the gory, violent.
There's a certain appeal that goes along with that.
There'd be no
It does
holds
appeal to
barred.
me. It does appeal to me. I'm just saying. It says a lot about me.
Yeah, but no, it doesn't apologise for it. It goes full out, and it doesn't need to.
I think it's just going to be a hell of a lot of fun. I'd like to see more of Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah,
we talked about it last week, and I've not gone too much about it. But I want to see more. I just want to see more. I don't think there's a trailer that came out, had some gameplay in it. It looks pretty cool. Yeah, I just kind of want to see more, just to get me excited about it. Really, I don't think I'm excited enough about it yet.
No,
that's the thing with E3.
I'm plenty excited about it.
Yeah, and oddly enough, although most people don't give a shit, DJ Hero 2, I wouldn't mind seeing a little bit more of that because it's now the whole 2 turntables, microphone, dealio. I just kind of want to see how that works.
Yeah,
I don't know. I've bought DJ Hero 1, so I may as well get DJ Hero 2. That's my logic. It's crappy logic, but I dropped a lot of money on that, so might as well utilise it. I'll just sell it and get £13 for it again.
Please. Do you want to hear about some of the games I'm excited about?
Go for it.
Firstly, obviously, I think by this show we've shown that I'm a big fan of the DS. Super Scribblenauts coming out. That's surprising. I played the first one. I found what a lot of people found is the controlling with the stylus was a bit of a hassle. It was a great idea, but bad to control. It seems with this new version, they've fixed that. You can now control it with a D-pad, and I think that will probably give it more appeal. Looking forward to DC Universe Online. I think that will probably be, of all the MMOs that are being shown this year, that will probably be the one that I'm going through. I'm looking forward to seeing more of that. Last Guardian we still haven't seen yet, but I know that's going to be turning up at some point. Really want to see more of Vanquish. Pirates of the Caribbean Armada of the Damned looks weird because it's basically Fable on the high seas. We said earlier that I like Fable, but it seems different because it's not tied into the movies. It's interesting. That's pretty much it. There's lots more, but I could just go on for ages and ages and ages about all the games I'm looking forward to.
Excellent.
I'm sure you don't want to hear a big list of games.
It's quite alright. We'll save some of that for another time. Well, this brings us to the end of the show. I mean, like I say, E3 is still going on. There's going to be so much more stuff to talk about. It's going to give us another good 2 or 3 weeks worth of, stuff to mention. So it's kind of good that we didn't cover everything today. I want to say thank you for downloading the show and listening to us. Especially since there's hundreds of other podcasts you could download and listen to instead of us. We want to thank you. The numbers, the figures we've been getting and the feedback has been pretty immense, pretty good.
It's shocking. I just can't believe it.
Yeah, no, it's been great. It seems like
you
it's
love
going
us.
well.
You really love us.
Well, maybe that's a bit too much, but you
like us.
Yeah, a little bit.
We're your mates.
Slightly fond of us.
We'll keep an eye on you.
As I mentioned on Twitter earlier, that we're going to make an announcement at the end of the show.
Oh,
The announcement is thus: we were talking about doing a video podcast for a while, as a kind of companion piece to the audio podcast. That's now going to happen. That is going to happen very soon. In fact, next week at some point, possibly, hopefully, fingers crossed, before episode 4, show 4 goes out, you'll be able to download a video podcast entitled Games4all Podcast Extra. That is going to be our video podcast. It's not going to be a very regular thing. It's going to be more like something that happens every maybe couple of months or whenever we get round to recording one. Basically speaking, you won't need to subscribe to a different feed for it. As long as if you subscribe in iTunes, it will automatically download. It's going to come in 2 flavours of definition: standard def and high def. Apologies on the high def side of things, because you may not want to see us in HD, but anyway, standard def and high def. We assume that the majority of people will probably want to watch it in standard def because that's going to be compatible with iPod and things like that, and obviously a smaller download as well. So we're going to prioritise the standard def over the high def, so that iTunes automatically downloads the standard def first, which will work out. And then obviously if you want to download the HD one, you can just stop the SD, download the HD, delete the SD, however you want to do it. Or you can just go on the website and watch either one.
I'm excited and nervous.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. We've got a lot of work to do on it. We've got ideas.
To eye on the green screen.
Yeah, okay. Let's not give too much away. It's going to be cool. It's going to be like a little 10-15 minute thing whenever it kind of happens. I think ideally we'd like to do it maybe every couple of months. I'd like to say once a month, but I think that's a bit too ambitious at the moment. This audio podcast is going to remain the main show. This is the main show no matter what happens. The video stuff is just a little extra thing. And it's basically going to be a lot of the stuff that we won't be able to fit in the show. We're going to show a lot of video stuff, obviously, because it's a video podcast. It needs to be visual based. I might just as well give away what the first episode is going to be. We're basically going to go over our top 10 trailers of E3 and show some small clips, but show in full the top 5 basically.
There are some stonkers, and
so you'll get to see what we thought were the best trailers of E3. And that's about it, really. I mean, that's going to be the first of the video podcast, or the Games4all podcast extras. And hopefully you'll download it. That should be available next week. Like I say, probably around Wednesday, Thursday next week, before the next audio podcast goes up, ideally.
Yeah. Hopefully next week's show we'll be able to focus more on the games and sort of get back to what our more regular show will be.
Slightly shorter, hopefully.
Yeah, obviously there's a lot of stuff happening at the moment, which is That's why we're sort of all over the place doing it.
It's been crazy. It's been crazy. I don't think I've ever sat down at a computer and streamed so much freaking video.
I know. And me trying to remember stuff.
I know, it's crazy. It's absolutely. I mean, we've got paper all over the place, notes and stuff. Craziness. This year, shaping up to be one of the best E3s in a long time.
Oh,
in my opinion, I think it's been fucking great so
Back
far.
to the glory days.
Indeed. So we'll have more E3 news next week. Obviously, we'll go cover things that we might have missed out on, or stuff that hasn't happened yet. Ideally, just thank you for listening, and we will assault your ears next week with more E3 stuff.
We're going to keep on recording, so you might as well listen to it. We're not going away.
Thank you for downloading the podcast. Thank you if you subscribe to us on iTunes. Please, you can check out our website. It's www.games4allpodcast.com with the number 4. The email address, if you need to contact us, is podcast@games4allpodcast.com. Once again, that's the number 4.
Please check out the website. You spent a lot of time making it.
Yeah. And Twitter, twitter.com/games4all. You're currently kind of like in charge of that now.
Yeah.
So you're doing a good job, by the way.
Oh, thank you. I'm trying to keep it relevant and try not to...
You can tweet after this that we've finished recording and that the new episode should be up tomorrow. We're on Facebook. You can get the link for that through our website.
Seriously though, chat to us on Facebook. We'd love to hear what you think. We'd love to hear what you think we should talk about or what you've been up to.
Any feedback's great. Like I say, you could leave us a review on iTunes. That'd be amazing. We'd love that. Preferably complimentary one would be nice. At the moment we've got a bit of a Facebook ad thing running, which you may or may not see. This may be how you found us. That won't be running for much longer, for about another 3 or 4 days, possibly a week, depends. We're hoping that's going to give us a bit more of a listenership, get our name out there, get our podcast out there. So if you have basically found us through Facebook, it's working. So thank you very much for listening, and you'll see us, hopefully, next week, and hear us next week also.
Cheers very much.
Good night and good luck.